Today we are going to be going through a classic CrossFit class. Sometimes you look at the whiteboard and you're like, hey, what is even going on? So this video is just going to explain a little bit of the common structure, and we've taken a classic day from our week of the box program. You can actually find the box program on this link here, but what we're also going to do is we're going to put a phone number in the description below. If you send a message to that phone number on WhatsApp, we're going to get you a free trial so you can try it out for your box. Most CrossFit classes follow a fairly similar structure. The warm-up, which is pretty self-explanatory. This is used just to make sure the body's prepped for what you're going to be doing later. Today we have 3 rounds. That means we'll be repeating these 3 movements for 3 rounds. We have a 1-minute row, that's 1 minute on the rowing machine, a 30-second plank, which I'll show you, then 30-second squat hold. We then move on to a strength component, and it's really common within CrossFit classes to either start with a strength or a skill component. Today we've got a very simple movement such as the bench press. This might be Olympic lifting, or if it were to be a skill, we may see some gymnastic components such as a handstand walk or pull-ups. And actually we're doing a piece here for time. So you'll notice that every 2 minutes, every 2 minutes for 5 rounds, I'm going to be doing 3 reps of bench press. There's no weight specified, so I'm just going to pick a weight that I know that I can complete. I may either pick a weight that I can go throughout the 5 rounds, or I can start to build, so my last set on the 5th round will be slightly heavier. Next we come on to our workout component. And this workout component, is what CrossFit is famous for. Our heart rate's going to get up, we're going to get sweaty, we're going to be breathing hard. Today we actually have 2 AMRAPs, and this can be a little bit confusing, but in the same way we wrote the strength, we're going to have 4 rounds of 4 minutes on, 2 minutes off. 4 minutes on means that's going to be the workout time, 2 minutes off means it's going to be the resting time, and you'll notice I have an A and B component. So the 4 rounds mean I'm going to do 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round. The rounds consist of couplets, which are 2 movements or 2 pieces of the workout. I've got a row here, an 8 dumbbell push press at the specified weight. The next one I've got 8 box step overs and then 16 deadlifts. My fault here, I forgot to write dumbbell deadlifts. But again, you can see we need 2 dumbbells for 3 of the movements, a rower, and then finally a box for the step overs. And then finally we've got our cool down. Here's very simple. We've got a 1-minute pancake stretch, just be 3 minutes. 1-minute pancake stretch, 1-minute straddle, and then 1 minute in the prayer position. And we're going to be able to get through all of this in 60 minutes. Obviously when you're in your class, you're going to be guided through with a coach. And within our box programming, we actually provide workout notes, information for everyone to follow. But let's see what that looks like in real life. So I'm just beginning the warm up now. As you know, it's just 3 rounds, starting with a 1-minute row. And really everything's just nice and relaxed. Shouldn't be going too hard. Just trying to get my body feeling as comfortable as possible, knowing that the work's coming up. And what I'll be doing through the rounds is just increasing that time. Next, I'm just coming into the 30-second plank. Try and reinforce good positioning. Trying to feel my core activated, make sure the body's feeling comfortable. To finish off the 1st round, I'm just going to come into 30-second squat hold. One question we often get asked is what type of warm-up you should be doing for strength. And it does depend on the movement you're doing. So bench press is arguably like one of the most simple things to warm up for, because you're not using many body parts. You're using the bench and then using this pressure motion with the arm. So for this, I'd literally just be building up in weight as I go through. As you get to more technical lifts such as snatch, clean and jerk, and obviously you're bringing in the squat component, pull from the floor, dynamic as well. So I'd actually say there it's important that the basic movements are warm, but then also you do some technical work to make sure that's on point before you build heavy. I've got 80 kilos on the bar, which for me, in terms of percentages, previously I've benched 110, so this is like 70% of all time 1RM, but I've not benched in quite a long time, so I'm starting relatively easy, so maybe around 70%. And then what I'm going to do is see how that feels. I've got quite a long time between this particular piece. It's every 2 minutes, but 3 reps of bench press, and maybe it takes 15 seconds, something like that. So I have a long rest, and I can choose how I feel, if I build up or I just stay here. But there's really no pressure on me. It's just getting that strength stimulus for the day in the workout. And what we find with this particular strength piece, it doesn't necessarily have much transfer over to the workout. That means I can go very heavy here if I want, and it's not going to impact what I'm doing for the rest of the class. And one thing that's important, sometimes when you're pushing with other people, it's got advantages because you push a little bit harder, but the disadvantage can be if you push too hard for where your abilities are. So it's just really important to know your body, speak to your coach, and just make sure you don't go too heavy on a weight that you need. You know, with 80 kilos, I'm going to get a great stimulus for me. If I went to say 100 today, it's not really going to improve that stimulus too much more, but I start to increase the risk of injury. You know, I'm not looking to compete as a competitive athlete, so I just want to make sure I'm healthy, my body's moving well. So this today is perfect for me. So how do I look at approaching this workout? First, I need to know roughly the time domain. So we know it's going to be 4 times 4, so that's 16 minutes of work, which for a CrossFit workout is quite a lot. But in between, I have these 2 minutes off. That's going to give me a chance to recover, let my heart rate come down. So it means I can approach it a little bit harder than I would if it was a pure 16-minute AMRAP. The next thing I want to do is look at the movements that are involved. I know that for me, with the hinge on the row and the deadlift, those are 2 typically good movements for me. I prefer going overhead than I do squatting. So what's probably going to be the most challenging component are going to be these box step overs. So I've got now a rough picture of how the workout's going to feel. I know the time domain that it's going to be in, and I know the movements that are going to be there. I've got some movements that are going to feel relatively easier, and some movements are going to feel relatively heavier. Now I start going in a bit more specific, looking at that time. So I know this first component I've got 4 minutes. I know that this 16 cal row is probably going to take me roughly a minute. And I know these dumbbell push presses are going to be a lot quicker. That means I'm going to be spending most of my time on the row, but I need to be effective at completing these unbroken in order to not lose too much time there. Next we come on to part B, and for myself personally, this is the bit that I get most nervous about. The 8 box step overs are going to be tough, I know that, so I just need to prepare for that mentally a little bit. And the deadlift, I imagine, will start to get quite grippy because, as you see, we've had a row, we've had step overs, and then we're still holding on to those dumbbells for the deadlift.
I told myself that money would never be a factor. Now I'm laughing at Benny Hanna's with benefactors. Sell my soul for an artist's love with them giant raptors. My chef cooking that steak and lobster on giant platters. Forsaking all again for this fact, the master path to disaster and say why the master.
Just testing, or just like, you know, going through it. But I think this is important sometimes for class workouts. Like, I've had a busy period. We hit a hard workout on Saturday. And I don't, you don't necessarily have to come in and kill yourself in the gym each day. Just going through it, moving, is going to be like so much better than just not going to the gym at all, and hopefully stay fresher for the next few days.
An opportunity to be great. John is taking it. There's no stopping for John.
What am I practicing for right now?
Magaluf.
So first round of part B, it was a little as expected. It just got very grippy because you constantly have to hold on to the dumbbell. But I managed 3 rounds, and we often use like an RP system. So if you guys want to check out the RP, like rate of perceived exertion effort, you can check out a link here, and it'll kind of explain it a little, but it's a really useful measurement. You know, now I know that I'm working at like 6 to 7 RP. Like, I can talk, but I'm breathing a bit. And if I went up to like RP 8, 9, I wouldn't be able to talk like this. So it's a good kind of, it's a good way to measure intensity through workouts. If you don't want to go too hard, you can use the RP. If you want to go hard, you can use it as well. managed to repeat again. It felt good, like 6-7 RPE. And also on the things, the rest makes a difference. Like the fact I've got 2 minutes rest now just allows me to push a little bit harder each round. So I hope that I'll be able to finish 3 rounds within the final round of this next workout. The main thing will be if the grip fatigue is still there. Okay, so that's the workout done. The 3 rounds, I gave myself a nice challenge. So each round I managed to maintain 3. Definitely the second part got hard. I probably still had some like residual grip fatigue from the first time I did this. So I had to push a little bit more there. All in all, like good workout. Happy I trained, happy I got something in. It's now clear away, a little bit of a stretch, and then ready for the rest of the day. It took us, just to go through that, took us just a little over an hour, but mainly because of we were explaining and setting things up. But that's a little bit of a classic class structure for people who are thinking of trying a CrossFit class or a CrossFit workout. Those of you who are interested in the box program that we offer, as I say, the number below, send us a message and we will send you a free trial to get access to try it out. Hope you enjoyed the video. We love your comments, so leave them below.